Radio. I'm your host, Tonya DeCosimo. Today, I am excited to be joined by none other than the millionaire matchmaker herself, Patti Stanger.
Hi.
Hi. While she is best known for hosting her own reality television show, which first aired January 22nd, 2008, Patti is also a businesswoman and professional matchmaker. She is the author of numerous books on attracting the perfect mate and finding love. A third-generation matchmaker, Patti is the founder and CEO of Millionaires Club International, Inc., a professional matchmaking service for millionaires, which she opened in January of 2000. And prior to that, Patti served for 5 years as the Director of Marketing and Special Events for Great Expectations, the oldest and largest dating service in the U.S. Patti's matchmaking efforts have been featured on E!, NTV, Dateline, Dr. Phil, Ellen, Tyra, and other television shows, as well as in numerous publications, including Marie Claire, Elle, Glamour, Forbes, and the list goes on. Patti is a popular guest on talk and news shows throughout the world. She has also done guest spots on several television shows, including Drop Dead Diva and Days of Our Lives. And if you didn't know, Patti grew up in New Jersey and currently resides in Los Angeles, California. Welcome, Patti. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. That was a mouthful. You do quite a bit. So first I have to compliment you. You have the most beautiful eyes. I'm sure everybody tells you that.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. So we know that matchmaking has been in your family for generations. I mean, is that what made you decide to pursue that career as well?
Actually, no, because I really didn't want to be a matchmaker. I had a natural inclination of seeing who belongs with who's getting married, who's getting divorced, what relationship issues they have. You know, it goes beyond fixing people up. I have this intuition that I guess. But when I found out down the road that I was psychic, okay, and because I would see things happening before they happened, people dying, getting illnesses, as well as positive things, you know, like having a baby. And I was adopted, so it didn't come from my biological parent. You know, I read vibrational frequency, and I'm clairaudient, and I hear a voice.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're great for matchmaking then.
Doesn't mean they always listen to me.
That's true. That's true. Do you find that it's more difficult to find love as we age?
150%. Nobody gets out of the house. The restaurants are empty. Everybody's jacking off to porn or, you know, watching Netflix. And, you know, those things are great, but we've lost connection. Our phones have become our lovers. And as we get older, we don't want to settle. And a lot of midlife crisis happens where the older guy goes for the younger woman, and then the women feel like they're obsolete. Once they hit menopause, they feel like they're no longer useless, which is terrible to teach our children. I mean, we are not in a society that reveres older people. We're not in a blue zone. And unfortunately, our culture is to throw the old people away. It's a terrible thing that's happening. And love can happen at 8 or 80. You know, it doesn't matter.
Right. I mean, I finally got married when I was 44.
40, right.
Yeah, so.
But I just saw a story today that blew my friggin' mind, that Joan Collins is 85 and her husband's 54. Now, most likely he's British. I don't know his story. But I would say that Europeans have more propensity to date an older woman like Sophia Loren to the day she, you know, exists, is a fine glass of wine that any man would want. So we don't have that in our culture, especially not in L.A. The youth rules the town, and once you get past 35, you're obsolete. It's like your eggs are dry, goodbye.
But there's more and more women and men getting married over the age of 40. So for those of us who are over 40 and have never been married...
That's not really true.
Okay.
Statistically, there are 40 million women over the age of 40 in the 130 million single people in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is there's not enough men for us. So what do we have to do? We have to go to Canada. We have to go to Europe. We have to ship them in. We have to get out of our own zone. Or the philosophy, as my mother would say, all you need is one. Just need one good guy. That's all you need. The secret sauce is how do we find this guy? And the apps, as great as they are to date someone you would never normally date, there is no filtration system where water seeks its own level. If I'm a successful woman, I don't want to date the gas station attendant, no offense. I accumulated wealth in my 40s. I don't want to take care of a man. Usually becomes my couch potato, ungrateful son when I do that. So it's very hard for women because the opportunities are less than the men's opportunities. And I'm not going to lie about it. You have to work hard to find love. It doesn't magically fall in your lap. You got to get out of the house. You got to make new friends. You got to travel. You got to do things on your own. You got to do it like you're looking for a job. Because you wouldn't take no for a job. You wouldn't say, well, I'm just going to be a secretary for the rest of my life. You'd be like, I have ambition. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a doctor.
Okay, so we were talking about women over 40. I mean, I have probably 6 friends that are close to 50 right now, women, single, have never been married. What advice can you give to these women who are still searching for the right one?
I am not a believer of staying in your own hood. In other words, I'm planning to go to Europe in the spring in London to date for myself. I'm over LA guys. I don't resonate with them anymore. I've made a lot of money. I'm super successful. I'm sick of dating the surfer. So I love British and Scottish men. So what better way to go to another country? Nobody really knows me to the degree that they do in the United States. I mean, I'm pretty famous in 200 countries. I'm pretty big, but a guy wouldn't know me. Like, they're watching rugby. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm going to try a new pool of men in a new city that I've never been to where I'm a virgin. That's what you have to do. You have to stop going to the same bars and stop going with the same people, okay? And you have to stop doing that.
Agreed.
That's the problem.
Agreed.
And the thing is, you expect a different result. You watch your friends who are married to wealthy, successful country club guys, and you think, oh, I can get one of those. But you keep going to the same country club, and nobody knows anyone. No one's fixing you up. The number one thing I would say is join a matchmaking club, because that is a broker that's working on your behalf. And you would have to spend money to do that. It's not free. If you end up going into the system, you're not guaranteed a date, just like Match.com or Tinder, okay? But if you hire a facilitator, like you would hire a headhunter to find a CEO for your business, you're going to get your bang for your buck. So that means making a dating budget. Now, water seeks its own level in those things. Are you going to take your money and go on a trip?
Right.
And go to a place where there are men? Like, skiing is the number one place to go, even if you sit at the bar and have a hot toddy the whole day.
Agreed. I love doing that.
It's 10 women to 1. There's 11 men to 1 woman in Breckenridge, Colorado. These are statistics I'm giving you. I'm not making stuff up.
Right.
Okay, so if there's 11 to 1 men in Breckenridge, Colorado, why are you not getting on a plane to go there? Montana, Wyoming, where Jennifer Aniston had a fabulous vacation with Jimmy Kimmel and Sandra Bullock. I mean, you got to get out of your own town, and you got to stop couch potatoing it and being lazy. Mm-hmm. You're lazy most of the time. And they're afraid to travel by themselves, which is really interesting because those who travel in packs do not attract.
I agree 100% with everything you're saying. That's why you inspire me. Question, let's talk about dating.
Okay.
What are some of the pros and cons of matchmaking, let's say for celebrities versus people who are not in the spotlight?
Okay, there is pros and cons for both. It's not different. You have a broker. He is your real estate broker, right? You're going to buy a house. You're looking for the perfect match to live 30 years in a house. Why wouldn't you do the same thing for your love life? Doesn't matter whether you're single. There's various degrees of matchmakers. They're not all expensive. They go from $5,000 and up, and it's worth every penny, because if I'm going to give you your husband, is that worth $5,000 to you? Would you put it on a credit card, or would you go buy 5 dresses, join Dry Bar, Blushington, get your hair and makeup done, get waxing, get laser? Would you spend all that money on your beauty treatments when you could actually have love who loves you for yourself without your makeup on?
That's a great investment.
Right, there you go.
What do you think are some of the biggest turn-ons and biggest turn-offs when dating?
Do not talk about your ex is the biggest turn-off. I don't want to hear your sad little hard luck story about how it went wrong and I'm divorced and he cheated on me and blah, blah, blah. Nobody gives a flying F, and they will go home after the date as much as you drunk and had a great time, and they will analyze you. Men do not fall in love on the date. They fall in love on the ride home. They process. They take the checklist out. Your checks are less in the no box. They don't call you. As much as you close that restaurant down, they don't call you. But people don't realize that. Men are processors. Women fall in love on the date. You get 3 right answers. Bing! I like him. Let's go.
Great advice. Now the question, okay, that many people want to know. is why do you think that you haven't found the right guy yet?
I haven't met him. Look, no one fixes me up because no one really that I know knows anyone in my circle.
Mm-hmm.
They're asking me to fix them up. As much as everyone thinks I hang with the millionaires and the billionaires, I don't. I keep church and street separate, and I don't date my clients. And I haven't been sexually attracted to any of them because they leave with a negative foot. So it wouldn't be out of my club. I've tried online dating. I met my ex-boyfriend that way. It was good, but we weren't compatible other than sex. We had a sexual compatibility. So I need nurturing and intimacy this time around.
Do you think men are intimidated by you?
I don't really see anyone that I really like, so I wouldn't know that. But it's not like I see thousands of men and everybody's ignoring me.
Right.
I don't see a lot of men out and about. I see children. I see kids. I see young kids. I don't, the biggest problem I think that we see in the world right now is we don't see our age group anymore. I've yet to see the late 40s and 50s hanging out at a local club, having dinner, and they're all single. Right. Those days were like, in Florida, and I lived in Florida, and I was in my 30s, you'd go to like 5 places every week and see a whole bunch of new people, or your old crowd that you'd hang out with first. You'd go venture off the bar, you meet a guy. Those days are over. They're not happening.
The good old days.
I got to spend 5 hours on an app to find one decent lawyer. I don't see professionals on the app. I don't see doctors and lawyers, and maybe in New York you'll see it in Wall Street, but we don't see it in LA like that.
Yeah.
And I just like British and Scottish men, so that's the reason I want to go there, because I actually like them. I love British television. I like the British way. One of my friends is British, so I like it. So I figured, what the I can try that. Why the hell?
Why not?
Problem is that if I saw it, I'd probably go after it. I don't see it.
Yeah.
And everyone I know is in my boat. I've got A-list actresses, Academy Award-winning Golden Globe actresses calling me every day going, where are the men? Where are the men? So this is not just me. Jennifer Aniston's single. You'll see a lot of people that you'll be like, why are they single? Why has Connie Britton never gotten married? She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's like, probably she's so much smarter than the curve that she's not willing to settle for some guy who's going to live off her money. And the other thing is finding a successful man who doesn't want a 25-year-old.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right, because he's having midlife crisis and doesn't know if he can get his ding-dong up, you know?
Oh, that's for sure.
You want your best friend within 10 years younger or 10 years older. I love Heidi Klum, but I highly doubt that relationship's going to last, the 18-year age difference.
Yeah.
It's just that statistics have shown us that they generally end. They might have a journey to go on, but it may not be the never-ending to the day she dies kind of thing, generally. Yeah. It's not forever.
Let me ask you this. What are some of the most difficult obstacles and challenges that you faced in your career?
It's really hard. Well, now I'm jumped the shark from unscripted to scripted. It took a year, and I finally did it. I sold several projects. Hallmark just bought 7 movies from me. Another network you're going to hear about just announced a TV show I sold. That was hard. But it was really hard getting in the door. I was lucky at a time when reality was happening because the writer's strike and the producers and actors strike. So we had strikes going on, and that was the only thing they were buying. The second thing is that I'm not a fall down, get drunk, housewife, crazy Jersey Shore girl. And I don't date celebrities, and I'm not on the carpet every 7 seconds and going to some event. So I'm an expert. So they don't always take you like, we're going to buy a product. And it took a while for me to convince them that, I was producer. I went to film school. I created my show from inception. I created it. I produced it. It took 9 months of my life every year. And the other thing is men saying no. But, it's just as much as there were men in reality, there are women that say no. They just don't see it. A lot of times they don't see your vision. But if you're a television watcher like me and you're watching the ratings and you know what the audiences are buying and you know your demos, a lot of times this is going to work. And you get on the wrong network. You sell it to you want to sell the show. Your agency wants to sell the show, and you get on the wrong network, and it's not the right platform. Or the people at the top say no, and there are 3 girls in the room that are age 28, and yet they've never watched television before, and they don't know what's going on in the ratings. You have to be a rating studier and run and know analysis. You have to do your homework. It's research, just like selling a product to a market. And getting no. And you know it's going to hit, and then someone gets that idea that you have, someone steals it, they run with it, they are bigger than you. They had a bigger platform than you, and they sell it like a Simon Cowell or a Mark Burnett. And all of a sudden, boom, it's like, damn it, that was my idea. I pitched that network 3 years ago, and now they're doing it like all the island shows. I've been pitching those for years. It's like, so now it's taken off because of the UK, because of Love Island. So you go, God damn it, why are they doing that when I pitched that 3 years ago?
Oh, that happened to me twice.
Oh, I pitched to Bravo. I mean, and it was me in the house, you know, and then, I don't know, maybe someone brought it over to E. It's like, you know that you have these ideas, but they can be stolen. That's a big thing that happens in our business. They can be stolen and remodified, so you can't get sued. And the other thing is, who's at the top and the power? You really have to pitch a president to get greenlit. Development people don't always know exactly what they're going to buy from day to day. They might buy one thing, like when Duck Dynasty was out, they were buying all the country bumpkin shows. Then they make the mistake with the gay comment, and Bing Bang Boo, all those shows are gone. You know what I mean? Like, it's timing. It's here today, gone tomorrow. I thought at one point my career was over. I was, like, having problems. And I was just like, I'm going to leave, and I'm just going to go off into the woods, and I'm not going to be a matchmaker, and I'm just going to, you know, raise pigs. You know what I mean? I really thought that. Okay? And just when I think that's going to happen, the phone rings. It's very much like an actress. And I'm like, then a network called me and said they wanted me. It's like, and I'm a strong, hard worker, but I'm also very strongly opinionated. I will yield to the network. Whatever the network wants, I will give them unless it's unethical, illegal, or immoral. And I will say, I don't agree with you. I think this is going to fail, but I will do what you want me to do because I'm under contract. So I'm a team player. But a lot of times I've told them this is wrong, this is it, and it's exactly what I said, probably because of my psychic ability and my intuition. You know, it happens.
It happens, yeah.
It happens all the friggin' time. I mean, originally I was working with Telepictures, and I created The Bachelor. It was originally called The Millionaire, and I had a bad agency, ICM. Thank God I'm at WME. My agent's amazing. And they didn't take the money, and then they went to Mike, and Mike goes, I could do this, and da-da-da-da. And it all went wrong, and it was the first stage. And you can talk to Brooke over at Time Warner, and she'll tell you the story, and I wrote it out on Yahoo because it was my mixer. I never sued them. I never got nasty with them. I'm like, hey, these things happen. On to the next one. You have to let things roll off your back and keep moving like a shark. Just like dating. Got to keep moving. Can't sit down, get depressed, and put your head down. Sooner or later, your number will come up in business and in personal life. Sooner or later.
Well put. Well put,
yeah.
Really. All right, 2 more questions for you. What do you think some of the biggest challenges women face today?
Acceptance, because when you get at the table, whether you're in a Wall Street position, I don't care if you're a firefighter, a cop, a doctor, they don't take you seriously, man. They just go, oh, she's got her period today, blah, 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 or, you know, just be quiet and sit at the meeting. Acceptance. And knowing that women can lead. You know, my favorite show of the year is Bodyguard. And it wasn't because Richard Madden did such an amazing performance. It was rightfully so the Golden Globe. It was because every person that he worked with was a woman in every major area. His boss, his boss's boss. I mean, it was crazy, okay? And it was like, why don't we see that? We only see that in Britain, where, you know, his home secretary is a woman, or, you know, the head of the bomb squad's a woman. We don't see that in television in America. It's like, I think the other thing is that you're going to get 50 no's, and your ass is going to get pinched, and people are going to ignore it. Thank God Me Too is happening right now. I had it a million times. I can't tell you how many people abused me. My father's like, you want to work in the garment center? That's what it is. You want to work for entrepreneurs? That's how it is. You got to suck it up and just be tougher. Right. So if he pinched my ass and called me tits, I called him little and I just threw it back to him. Why should we have to do that is the question, because they don't have to do it. Right. So you're going to have to realize these things are going to happen. Just because Me Too's happening doesn't mean this is going to stop, okay? Men still will try to get away with shit. The other thing I think that the hardest thing for women is that they get less pay for the same job. And I had an experience on one of my production companies. I'm not going to name names, but they were paying for 20 years, they still are, women less money than men.
Yeah, you see, that pisses me off.
Out them so badly, but I would have gotten blacklisted in Hollywood, and I had to think about myself as well. But I was really going to go Norma Ray on them, because the girls came to me and told me, you know?
Yeah, that's wrong. Just wrong.
I just couldn't, because I would have been in trouble, because I'm under contract to the network. My allegiance is to the network. But believe me, that happens everywhere. They think they can get away paying us less when we do twice the work, because we multitask.
That's right.
Our corpus callosum is bigger than men. We think, feel, and do. They just think and do. And they have their slow processors. We process on the spot. You know, like you watch Bird Box. She's processing us. She's going, no, we're going to do this, and we're going to move her here. Blah, blah. She's doing that. Men are like, let me think for a second. Let me think for a second. Well, we don't have time to think. What are you going to do?
Exactly. Women today, we do it all, and we get paid less to do it all.
And
just
we
wrong.
get treated like shit by men because then they cheat on us. I'm not putting men down. I'm just saying that for every 20 bad guys, there's always a good guy. So I'm not saying that. I don't believe in absolutes. I believe the world is filled of snowflakes. No two people are alike. You've never walked in those person's shoes in their childhood to make you understand what they've gone through. Mm-hmm. But women need to stop taking abuse. That's the line in the sand.
Right. We allow it.
We allow it because we're told as girls, this is the way it is. It's a man's world, and suck it up or you get nothing.
Right.
That's what the thing is. That's what we need to teach our little girls. We need to teach them from the beginning. He hits you. He does this to you. He puts you down. He cheats. Go. Leave. No talking. Disconnect. Report him if he rapes you. Go to the police.
Absolutely.
Because for every person that gets raped, he's going to do it again. There's so many things that we have to go through. Biologically, you know, from all the hormone shifts we happen to having children to menopause, it's a rough ride. And this other idea that we're disposable when we get into menopause, we're no longer sexy. Oh, she's over 40? I wouldn't date her.
I know. That's a whole nother podcast.
60-year-old men thing. I go, oh, so you're telling me that if Jennifer Aniston wanted to go on a date with you at 49, you go, well, that's different. That's
right,
different.
Of course.
Yeah. Because her stock market value is higher because she's famous and rich.
Right.
But if I had a look-alike at the same age who was a nurse, he'd go, meh.
True that. Patti, tell us one thing that people don't know about you.
I'm shy when it comes to men.
Really?
I never know when someone likes me. I'm clueless. I'm a terrible flirt. Terrible flirt. I mean, the art of flirting is such a technique, and I am so bad at it. Unless I get reciprocation. Like, I could never initiate a flirt. Guy has to flirt with me to flirt back. Yeah. Which is kind of weird for someone what I do.
Would you date somebody in New York?
I date anyone anywhere, as long as it's a compatible match. I'm looking for compatibility this time around. I used to always sex. That's all I cared about. Now I'm done.
I might have someone for you, but we'll talk about it off air. So let's talk about your tour.
Yes.
Your live tour in February. You're going to be counseling, helping singles and couples improve their love lives.
I'm going to be doing a lot of things. It's a relationship interactive dating show. So it's not just for singles. It's for couples. It's for people who don't have a mate. It's also for people whose love life has fallen off the cliff and they need their love life revitalized. We'll be taking people on stage. Anybody can ask me any questions. Nothing is off topic, but I will also be psychically reading them. So I'm not just going to sit there and do, my Millionaire Matchmaker 101 thing. I'm going to go deep. And we're going to figure out why you're single or why your love life's not working or why you're not where you want to be, even in business. Because as an entrepreneur, I know how hard it is to start your own company, and that's what I did. I did it in my underwear, and I made $1 million in my business, my first year in business, and everyone told me I would fail. Everyone. There wasn't one person that said I would succeed. Not even my mother.
Wow.
Really. And she was the ultimate matchmaker. There was no millionaire matchmakers on the street. Nobody was catering to the wealthy. They all told me it would never work. So I'm here to tell you I made it. I can help you make it.
Now, where is your tour? Where are you going? What states? What cities?
First, we're starting in Richfield, Connecticut. We're going off to Morristown. We're going to Philly, and we're going to Pittsburgh. And you can go to Patti Knows with an I, PattiKnows.com, and buy tickets. There'll be VIP tickets if you want to meet me backstage, have a champagne meet and greet, bring your friends, bring your family, and it's stand-up. I do a comedy routine. So it's very entertaining, and I think it's for everybody. I think it's your grandmother, your mother, your father, your best friend. If you want to do tours or groups, we'll give you discounts on that. You might have a girls group, book club, whatever you've got going on. We'll do that too.
Awesome. Well, I have to say, it's such a pleasure. I mean, health and love, the two most important things.
Yes, of course. And a happy, healthy new year. But let's make this the year of love in everything we do. Okay? And let's make this the year of the woman. We need to be first, not the men.
Absolutely.
Because I think what's happening is we put ourselves last, even after our kids, and we don't get what we want. And when Glenn Close got up on the Golden Globes and she said, we don't nurture ourselves. We think we don't need it. That's the problem. Mm-hmm. We do. Nobody gets anywhere alone. Nobody.
Patti, one more question. You brought up kids. Do you still want kids?
I'm kind of old now, but I was a stepmother to my last boyfriend's kids, and I would love to be a stepmother. I mean, I would adopt if the guy wanted it. but I love children. I love teenagers. I love them all. I'm open to anything.
I'm a stepmom. Always wanted my own, but I'm a stepmom, and it's wonderful.
And I actually like when they're potty trained.
Yeah. That's true.
Because I'm not good at the diaper part, but I'm good at everything else, okay?
Well, you have an amazing personality. You're beautiful inside and out. I want to thank you for inspiring and empowering so many people, especially women. Thank you for finding so many people love, and we really admire you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, Patti Stanger.